Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Jurors reach a verdict in the case of a former Minnesota police officer. Kim Potter was accused of shooting instead of tasing a suspect. See how Minnesotans are reacting to the decision.
Still, there's the holidays, there's Christmas, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here to celebrate with people that are walking through hard moments in their life.
Rockford Rescue Mission sets the table for a Christmas tradition. Those getting help with the holiday feast represents hope for the coming year. Plus, today's one of the busiest travel days of the year. Families driving to spend Christmas with loved ones talk about how COVID safety protocols are part of the plan. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. The jury hands down a verdict in the manslaughter trial of ex-Minnesota police officer Kim Potter. She fatally shot a man she says she meant to tase. Garrett Tenney recaps the emotional day in court.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
An outcome reached in the country's latest racially charged murder trial. Ex-Brooklyn Center, Minnesota police officer Kim Potter found guilty on charges of first and second degree manslaughter in the April death of 20-year-old Dante Wright after she says she mistook her gun for her taser during a traffic stop. The 6 men and 6 women of the jury taking over 27 hours of deliberations to decide her fate.
The jury looked at the fact that a life was lost and she was in the position of power that took that life.
Jubilation outside court after the verdict was read. On Tuesday, jurors asked the judge what would happen if they couldn't reach a verdict, and she told them to keep working towards an outcome. That question came just a few days after Potter took the stand in her own defense.
And nothing happened.
Getting emotional as she claimed the deadly incident was a mistake, not a crime.
We were struggling. We were trying to keep him from driving away. It just went chaotic.
Her attorneys argued Wright was attempting to flee during the traffic stop, a move they say led to his own death. But prosecutors told jurors the 49-year-old officer acted recklessly and negligently, and that making a mistake is not a defense.
She knew she had a loaded gun on her duty belt, a gun that she carried every single day on the job.
That was Garrett Tenney reporting. Potter faces up to 15 years on the more serious first-degree manslaughter charge. Prosecutors say they plan to push for a sentence close to that. No one is in custody after a teenager shot in Freeport overnight. Around 3:45, officers were called to a home on South Walnut Avenue near South Galena Avenue. Investigators found a 17-year-old shot. The victim was rushed to the hospital and is doing well now. Police are investigating. If you have any information on that incident, contact Freeport PD or Crime Stoppers. December's nearly over, but Illinois roads haven't seen anything yet in terms of winter weather. When snow does fall, state troopers remind drivers to be extra alert. Today is Scott's Law Day, December 23rd, 2000. A drunk driver hit and killed Chicago Fire Lieutenant Scott Gillen. That's who the law is named for. That law requires motorists to slow down and move over when passing an emergency vehicle with its lights activated. 22 Illinois State Police squad cars have been hit by violators this year. 13 troopers went to the hospital. That's up from 15 crashes in 2020. Christmas celebrations are in full swing across the state line. Rockford Rescue Mission hosted its Christmas dinner a little early this year. MICHELE Delgado was at the banquet this morning. MICHELE, one resident tells you the party is a highlight of his year.
Well, Eric, this is the Rockford Rescue Mission's 57th annual Christmas dinner for their residents and guests, where anyone who needs a meal gets one, as well as some gifts.
I just learned so much in friendship and not being alone and just having love instead of hate. How about, you know? But I love it, actually. I love it, and I do owe a lot to the mission here.
Wreaths on the wall, red and green tables, and pie. Rockford Rescue Mission is making sure those who don't have anyone to spend the holidays with have a hot meal, like David Conley, who lives at the mission right now. Usually, he's in Florida this time of year, but he is happy to be involved.
Doing more for others than we do it for ourselves. Not only is it humbling, but it does feed my heart, and I love it, you know. But I do like being served today, because we usually are serving throughout the year.
Marketing and Communications Director Abby Finley says events like this are a great way to let those in the community know someone is there for them.
The reality is homelessness and crisis and addiction and domestic violence does not end during the holidays. It's a very real thing that continues on throughout the year, which is why events like this are important.
Besides the hot meal with plates full of ham and potatoes, the mission is also helping out others by giving out gifts and, most important this time of year, cold weather gear.
It's an opportunity for us to celebrate with our guests and residents Christmas, but it's also a way for us to reach out to our community and celebrate Christmas with them as well.
David tells me sitting down to a holiday meal with people who are like family now is an amazing feeling.
I'm so happy to be here. I came here, I didn't have a lot of friends and stuff like that, and now I actually, this is a family. I'm so happy I'm here.
The rescue mission is always accepting donations. For more information on how you can help, find this story on mystateline.com. Eric?
Thanks, Nicole. We're coming up on the last 24 hours or so for Christmas shopping, and bell ringers hope you'll drop some change amid all the chaos. Salvation Army of Winnebago County's Red Kettle campaign comes to an end tomorrow. Even if you're not running around town, you can make a donation online. The organization helps families living in poverty make ends meet, especially after additional financial issues caused by COVID. Find a link to donate at mystateline.com. The pandemic kept families apart for Christmas last year, but now that things are starting to level out a little, the holidays are starting to feel a bit more normal. You can see proof of that on our roads and at local airports. Dylan Sraki is at Rockford's airport. Dylan, people tell you that they are ready to celebrate.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. Local travelers say they're looking forward to spending time with their family for the Christmas season. According to AAA, more than 109 million people across the U.S. will take a trip of at least 50 miles over the next 10 days. That's a 34% increase from 2020. Today is expected to be one of the single busiest days of the year out on the roads. Some health experts worry of a surge in COVID cases because of all the cross-country travel. But road trippers I talked to say they're taking extra precautions to prevent the spread.
I'm boosted, she's boosted. She's not quite old enough, and our family activity last night was taking at-home COVID tests just to make sure we were clean.
Other travelers are hitting the skies, getting out of the winter in Illinois and traveling south. There's a flight from Punta Gorda, Florida in about an hour. For now, reporting live in Rockford for your home team, I'm Dylan Sraki.
Dylan, thanks for the live report. And if you need a dose of some holiday cheer, be sure to tune in to our annual Sounds of the Holidays. The hour-long special includes performances by choirs from 7 state-line high schools. Times and channels are on your screen. Your first chance to watch here on WTVO is tomorrow at 4 p.m., then again at noon on Christmas Day. Although the holiday season often brings a lot of happiness and joy, it can create stress, from overspending on Christmas gifts to spending a little too much time with family and friends. No matter the source of your emotions, there are ways to work through them. MICHELE RAVE shows us one option.
Dealing with some extra stress during the holiday season? No problem. This is just one of many healthy ways you can help release that pent-up tension.
It's something about throwing that axe or smashing that bottle that's just like, it feels so good.
The holidays can oftentimes mean lots of family time, which can sometimes lead to lots of stress. Maximum Axe Throwing and Smash Room in McChesney Park has a way to help.
Got baseball bats and golf clubs and sledgehammers, and throw it against the wall, throw it on the floor, whatever you need to do to just get that awesome smash and really get that release.
I took a swing at a couple of things.
Oh my God, right?
Kevin Polke from KP Counseling says there's a big factor behind holiday stress.
This idea that I may have expectations, and have I really prepared myself for them to be realistic, you know? And so I think our own expectations of what it's supposed to be like is probably the underlying culprit of some of that stress.
He encourages people to move their bodies if the stress is too much to handle.
The idea of movement, and that would be the smash room or throwing, axe throwing, those are all aspects of movement, which actually burns up those chemicals that are being produced when we feel threatened or we call stress. So
whether it's a smash room or taking a walk, Polke says being intentional with how you compose yourself is key.
Regardless of how someone else is, we can we have the ability to influence our own attitude about where we're at and what kind of holiday that we're going to have.
And if you need to de-stress next week, Maximum Axe Throwing Smash Room is open on the weekends. I'll have more details on mystateline.com. Reporting in Machesney Park for your home team, I'm Michelle RAVE.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, temperatures for us this afternoon made it into the 40s, warmer than where we were yesterday. Despite the cloud cover we had this afternoon, made it up to 48 degrees in Rockford. That number now at 41, down to 35 in Rochelle. So we are starting to see a couple of numbers drop back just a bit here this evening, but the low 30s, that's where we end up for the overnight tonight and then rise again into tomorrow. Our weather watcher Ben in South Beloit checking in with 41. Notice those dew point numbers coming up too from where they were yesterday. 44 for our weather watcher Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford. We had a little bit of sunshine kind of break through some of the cloud cover we had out there earlier today. We'll keep it a mostly cloudy sky here as we go through the night tonight. Warm front passing up to the north, allowing that warmth to build in here today and bringing those temperatures back up above average. And with an increase in moisture, those clouds, they will stay in place as we kind of see another surge of moisture work in, not only for tonight, but also for our Christmas Eve day. So 33 degrees, that's where we end up for the overnight. Winds for the most part will stay light from the southeast. The wind tomorrow will pick up once again, shifting back around to the southwest, at times gusting to 20 miles per hour. You're going to notice more cloud cover, and then towards the latter half of the day, a little more fog building in. And then throughout the morning, afternoon, and evening, we've got the drizzle. Despite that, though, temperatures will be climbing into the 50s for tomorrow. Not quite record warmth, but another well above average afternoon. Now, you may be asking, well, with the drizzle and the cloud cover, how are we going to make it into the 50s? Well, we have to look at that dew point temperature. We're in the 30s right now, but look at the numbers to the south in the 40s. That's the source region for that moisture, that warmth to come in play. So as that southerly wind continues to pick up during the day, our dew point temperature will also be climbing near 50 degrees. And when you get that warming dew point number, despite any cloud cover, you're automatically going to see that temperature climb. That's how we're going to get those numbers, upper 40s, low 50s. But again, with more moisture, you've got the clouds and the drizzle. Nothing that I really think will slow you down tomorrow if you're traveling, but we do have some showers to kind of time out once we get into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. So here we go with Futurecast. On and off drizzle, couple of light showers as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures warming, staying fairly mild into Friday night and then into Christmas Day itself. Another area of low pressure passing to the south. We'll watch our temperatures here on the northern fringe very early Saturday. Might get a couple of snowflakes to mix in, but I do think some of those showers are going to stay with us at least for the first half of our Christmas. We can kind of see as we zoom this out a little bit, you've got a couple of those showers that'll be staying with us into Saturday morning and then drying out a bit as we head into Saturday afternoon or Christmas Day afternoon. Another system passes to the north, may bring us a flurry or two there as we head into Saturday night. General story for the rest of the weekend, those temperatures, they will be staying in the 40s and then dropping back into the 30s as we head into next week. So 44 our official high for Christmas Day, 40 on Sunday. Watching Eric's Sunday night into Monday, that'll be our next system. Same thing there on Tuesday. Mentioned yesterday we would see the numbers drop back towards the end of next week and those temperatures falling back into the 20s.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Christmas and the NFL are intertwined this weekend. Will it be a Merry Christmas for the Bears and the Packers? So far this season, I'm 12-2 picking Bears games. Last weekend, the Vikings defeating the Bears 38-17. The Vikings won 17-9. For the Packers, I'm 10-4 picking their games. Last week, I had them defeating the Ravens 31-13. They defeated the Ravens 31-30. So here we go. The Bears play in Seattle Sunday afternoon. It's a short week for both teams. The Bears play Monday night. The Seahawks play Tuesday night, so I expect a sloppy game. Not much has gone right for the Seahawks this season. Russell Wilson has not clicked with Tyler Lockett and J.D. Metcalf like he has in the past. Lockett still has over 1,000 yards receiving, but he is questionable with COVID. Metcalf hasn't had a touchdown catch in his last 6 games, and he's dealing with a foot injury. The Bears' defense was impressive Monday night against the Vikings. Akeem Hicks had a lot to do with that. He set the tone for the entire unit. But today, he was put on the COVID list. That's a crusher. Bilal Nichols is also on the COVID list, so the Bears' defensive line will be thin. This is the hardest Bears game I've had to pick all season. There's just not much sizzle with either one of these teams. I haven't picked the Bears to win a game since Week 5 when they beat the Raiders. I was close to picking them this week until Hicks went on the COVID list. That changed things. Plus, when I have a hard time picking games, I look at a few factors, and the Seahawks get the edge in all of them. They have the better quarterback, they have the better head coach, they take care of the football, only 11 turnovers to the Bears' 25, and they have the home field advantage. So I'm taking the Seahawks over the Bears 21-17. The Packers and Browns will go at it Christmas Day at LAMBEAU Field. The Browns were decimated by COVID last week, and they lost Monday to the Raiders on a last-second field goal. Baker Mayfield is expected to come off the COVID list just in time to play Saturday. You know, the Browns are the kind of team when healthy that's built to give the Packers some trouble with their run game. But the Browns will be missing 3 starters on their offensive line and running back Kareem Hunt. That leaves Nick Chubb to do a lot of heavy lifting, too much heavy lifting. And Baker Mayfield has been bad this season. And the Browns' best defensive player, Myles Garrett, will be playing with a groin injury. The Packers do need to tighten up their defense, and shutting out the Seahawks November 14th. The Packers are giving up an average of 30.5 points per game to their last 4 opponents. But it will be a Merry Christmas in Green Bay. I'm picking the Packers over the Browns 28-13. That's my take. We'll be right back.
The First Warn Interactive Radar, a good tool to have here in the next couple of days as we've got some drizzle, a few light showers tomorrow, and then some lighter rainfall, especially tomorrow evening, and more to the south here as we head into Christmas Day itself. 51 for tomorrow, 44 on Saturday, and then the temperatures, they will be dropping back into the 30s here as we head into next week, and could even see the numbers fall back even further towards the end of next week and as we welcome in the new year.
Looking good, unless you really want a white Christmas, looking good for Christmas weekend. Candace, thanks. Before we leave you, we have a preview of our Sounds of the Holidays music special. Here's the Hononegah High School Choir. Enjoy. Stay safe.